What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Phil Shock of the 96 Hedgehog here with our Week 4 DDL Team Builder for you guys. We are going against the Philadelphia Empoleons, and this is a very semi-important / not as important matchup here, but this is a very big matchup regardless. If you guys are excited, hit like, give it a video, subscribe if you are new, join the Phil Shocker crew today because you'll be filling with the king of the crew. And with that being said, let's go ahead and break down the matchup here. So, looking at this matchup here, my opponent has Urshifu, Single Strike, Electros, Rotom Wash, Florges, Mega Pidgeot, Haxorus, Kartana, Galarian Slowbro, Salazzle, Shuckle, and Mudsdale. So, looking at my opponent's team, I very much struggle against a ton of things on my opponent's side of the field. I have a struggle breaking through things like Pidgeot, Urshifu, and then dealing with some offensive things like the Electros, potentially, and the Haxorus and Cortana. So this is going to be a very tough matchup for me. But I think I got a team that can get me the job done. I don't guarantee this team could win me this matchup here, but I think of a team that can maybe at least lower the differential down to where we can try and do everything in our power to win other games going further. So, breaking down my opponent's team, I don't think Mudsdale comes. Mudsdale doesn't really have that good of a matchup against a lot of things on my team. Shuckle, I don't think he's going to really ring webs because there's not a lot of fast things on my team, really, to take advantage. It's going to get crippled by webs. The only thing that gets crippled by webs is really just Ashgren and Ape, but I have weak Trick Room kind of mode on my team, so that was something he has to be very mindful about. Salazzle does have a decent matchup versus me, but I feel like Salazzle might have to be choice scarfed, potentially, but you never know. Galarian Slowbro is also another nuisance mon that in Trick Room can actually be a bit of a problem versus my team if I can't be able to break it down properly. So it's definitely going to be something I have to be very mindful and very careful about going into the battle. And definitely I can see Cortana coming. Cortana can definitely run like a Choice Banded set that can really just go against my team if I am not prepared and careful for it going further into the rest of this league. So, looking at my opponent's team, I think Urshifu Single Strike makes absolute sense to bring against me. Electros obviously makes a lot of sense because it stops me Runarigas from doing much. I think Florges is also a really good mon. It just walls out a lot of my team. Rotom Wash there, provide Will-O-Wisp support can be really annoying because I can see like Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Will-O-Wisp, and then either Defog or Toxic, Pain Split, one of those three or four moves. Mega Pidgeot just spams Hurricane, Roost, Heat Wave, and whatever coverage would maybe work up against me. So definitely something to do with that. And I think Haxorus being able to go for a DD set can just be able to do it. I do expect First Impression with the Dragon Dance stab and being either Earthquake and Outrage, or potentially Earthquake and maybe Close Combat, something like that, because you know he cannot break Corviknight with Haxorus unless he gets CC. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he has nonetheless. If you guys are excited, though, get excited, because let's go ahead and break down the team. So, we didn't get to see some of these mons make their debut last time because they were week 2. We got the 4th one week 2. So, 2 of those mons that have yet to make their debut are making their debut this week. First off being Lancelot or Corviknight with Drill Peck, Roost, Iron Defense, Body Press, 152 in HP, 104 in defense, max special defense with a careful nature. This is a weakness policy set for Corviknight. Basically, Corviknight, if it starts getting iron defenses and gets its boost going, Corviknight can wall and sit in front of about everything on his team, which is super good because he can't break it physically. The only type of way he can beat it specially is very much an offensive Electros and an offensive Rotom Wash. But even so, Rotom Wash can't do much. Even with Body Press, I get to +4 with my attack. I mean, if I get to +6, I can still do chunks to Rotom Wash, and I can beat Rotom Wash 1v1. Because again, if I get to Roost in front of Rotom Wash, which, I mean, I know I'm not faster than Rotom Wash, but basically if I get to more chip damage of Roost, I can get healthier, and I can just weaken things down and go from there. So Corviknight's job is to hopefully be able to weaken things down, and to hopefully break things down and be able to position sweep. So really excited for Corviknight this week. I think this set can actually put in a lot of good work, and hopefully it pays off. I'm next bringing in Fernape here with the Choice Scarf once again with Flavorless Future and Close Combat and Grass Knot. Grass Knot's literally just on there because of Mudsdale, but otherwise I don't think it will be. I think I'm just going to be running these 3 moves with Flavorless Future and Close Combat. 88 HP, max attack, and enough speed to outspeed. Scarfed, what's his name? But, ugh, God, but, Ape literally can just come in, click a fire type move almost for free, and be able to just break something down. Close Combat's also really free against the majority of the team. Once we get rid of Rotom Wash, Flare Blitz spam is super good in this matchup. And once we get rid of Florges close combat spam is incredibly good in this matchup. So Inferno can put in a ton of work this game, and I think Inferno could potentially be a good breaker slash late game cleaner. So definitely something to know with that. Hold on, I might have a sneeze. Excuse me. We have Rotom Mo or Moen, and I don't regret that nickname. That nickname is fire. With Will-O-Wisp, Hex, Nasty Plot, Leaf Storm, I don't have an electric move. Now, you may be questioning why I would not bring an electric move to this Mon set. Honestly, Leaf Storm's all I really need on this set, plus Hex. Hex can actually beat up some of the things I really wanted to beat. Will-O-Wisp is pretty free against everything except the Salazzle. Nasty Plot afterwards can do a lot of work. We are running a physically defensive Rotom this week, though, with some small special attack investments to be offensive. But basically designed to just take hits, dish out damage, and then hopefully burn things, or be able to just click Hex or Leaf Storm and Nasty Plot up and just do a lot of work. Obviously, in front of Florges, I don't want to deal with it, but if I can Will-O-Wisp Florges and it's not a Cleric variation, where it's got Heal Bell, because I also think it's going to have Moonblast, Wish, Protect, and then either Heal Bell or Hidden Power type of deal, something like that. So it's going to be 50-50 on what he wants to bring. But honestly, Rotom Mo, I think, puts in so much work in this game, and I think Rotom Mo can do a lot. Up next, we have Doug Dimmadome, home of the Dimmadome Dimmadome. Here with Stroljoy, Toxic Spikes, Flamethrower, and Strange Team. I'm going to see if I can try to get some hazards up on my opponent's side, but most likely, the hazards I want up are Toxic Spikes. Because if I don't see Salazzle there, I can freely set up Toxic Spikes on his side of the field. And Toxic Spikes being able to stack up and start doing some damage to my opponent's team puts in a lot of good work for my team as well. We are rocking the Shuka Berry now. You may be asking yourself, wait, you're Levitate with Shuka Berry. Why is that? That makes no sense. This is designed to check Haxorus. Haxorus tries to deliver an Earthquake through Mold Breaker. Shuka Berry pops. I live it. I go for Strange Team to try to go for the KO, and we can go from there. I do guarantee live any hit from Kartana, except maybe I do live any hit from Kartana, including Banded, on the Smart Strike. So I can always live at least one hit guarantee with Kartana, so I don't even need to be the Berry for that. Flamethrower always knocks it out unless it's Oka Berry or Focus Sash. Otherwise, Sludge Wave plus Strange Team does a lot, and then Toxic Spikes, like I said, just puts in a lot of work. I could put Psybeam over Toxic Spikes, so that way I can have a way to hit Salazzle and be able to 1v1 it. But I just feel like having Toxic Spikes is better, so on the off chance that it doesn't bring it, we can have a way to set up hazards. We are running physically defensive with a lot of special attack investment, max HP with 136 defense bold, and the 116 special attack with force for depth. Basically, we're designed to just really take some hits and dish out a lot of damage. Up next, we have Naruto here holding the black glasses, because Dark Spam is pretty good in this matchup. We just got rid of our Florges. We are running Gunk Shot Serve, Dark Pulse, Water Shuriken, 114 HP, max special attack, and 152 speed. The speed lets me make sure I am faster than Cortana, which is the fastest thing on his side of the field. So with Cortana's Scarf, we'll obviously know it for a fact. Anything else, but I think Naruto here actually can just put in a lot of work. Basically, once Florges is weakened down, and we find out if the Urshifu is Scarf or Banded, which I think it should be Scarf, and if it locks itself into Wicked Blow, we can bring this thing in once it's weakened, click Surf, and then into Water Shuriken, and then be able to potentially just win the games, potentially. But basically, if we get Battle Ball off, we can put in a ton of more work with this thing. So it's definitely going to be very important that we play around this thing and be very, very careful in what we want to do. And last but not least, we're bringing the Duck! And the Duck's really here just to take hits, do a little chip damage and stuff. But otherwise, he's here just to kind of pivot out and stuff like that. We have Tri Attack, Recover, Teleport, and Ice Beam. I might make this Toxic, and I think I am going to make this Toxic. So basically, I'm going to be running Mono Tri Attack here, just because I think it hits everything else I really wanted to hit for. Recover lets me be able to just be annoying for my opponent to deal with, and plus with having Teleport, I can pivot in and out from a Delay Exploit, which is really good, and then Toxic Aim, just the Toxic few things would be really good to just weaken them down. We are running a physically defensive set with some special defense investment, 216 HP and 36 defense with the bold nature, 14 special attack for just a tiny bit of offense, and 116 for depth. I think the Duck here can just swallow hits for days and really kind of confuse my opponent on what I'm going to be physically or especially defensive and stuff like that. And honestly, I think Porygon can be really good to take hits. But that's good, the team, guys. Like I said, I'm actually not really feeling that confident in this matchup here, just like I was last week against Guani's my own team. And you saw how that happened. But I think we have a solid shot to try to get around this. It's just going to come down to how we play it. So it's definitely going to be a big thing for us to get through. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Post Shock Crew today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, guys. Peace.